What if your cat's biggest itching solution isn't a spray or shampoo, but 1 teaspoon of the right ingredient? Most owners never think to look inside the food bowl. Stay until the end, because using it the wrong way can ruin the results. But first, there's something every cat owner needs to know. Cats groom themselves nonstop. That's normal. But when she locks onto one spot, same leg, same patch, every night, that's not grooming anymore. That's a distress signal. And it starts in her gut. Cheap kibble inflames the gut lining. An inflamed gut confuses the immune system. A confused immune system starts attacking her own skin like it's the enemy. That's the itch. Not fleas. Her own body, misfiring. And a cat with damaged skin? Ticks love her. Weak barrier, easy meal. Fix the gut. Both problems disappear at once. 9 things do it. Let's go. Number 1, salmon oil. Sounds too easy to actually work. It works. Wild salmon oil is loaded with omega-3s, and they go straight to work on her skin barrier, the wall that keeps irritants out and moisture locked in. When that wall breaks down, nothing you rub on the outside matters, because the damage keeps rebuilding itself from underneath. A 1/4 teaspoon, mixed into wet food, 3 times a week, is enough to start closing that gap. Give it 2 weeks, the coat gets visibly shinier. The obsessive licking spot goes quiet on its own without you doing anything else. One rule that actually matters: pet-grade fish oil only. Human fish oil capsules often carry added flavoring that sounds harmless, but slowly wears on a cat's liver over time. That rebuilds the wall. It doesn't touch what's causing the damage behind it. The bone broth. Hear that hollow gurgle when she's hungry? Most owners assume that's normal. It isn't. That's a gut lining quietly begging for repair before things get worse. Unsalted, onion-free bone broth is rich in collagen and gelatin, and both work like a soothing bandage laid directly over that damaged lining, calming it from the inside instead of masking anything from the outside. A gut that's actually healed starts absorbing nutrients properly again. And that's the one thing that has to happen before anything else on this list can work at all. 1 tablespoon, poured over her regular food, a few times a week, is all it takes. Even the pickiest eaters go straight for the bowl the moment bone broth hits it, which makes this one of the easiest wins on the entire list. The next ingredient does something broth simply can't. It goes straight after the itch itself. The plain pumpkin. You already know pumpkin for settling an upset stomach. That's not even the part that matters here. Plain pumpkin is packed with soluble fiber, and that fiber feeds the bacteria running the show inside her gut. The same bacteria responsible for controlling inflammation everywhere in her body, including her skin. Balanced gut bacteria means less histamine, and less histamine means less of that maddening scratch-lick-scratch cycle you've been watching every night. It really is that direct a connection. 1/2 teaspoon, mixed into her food, 2 or 3 times a week, keeps that balance steady without overdoing it. One warning that actually matters: plain only, canned, or fresh. Pie filling carries sugar and spices that quietly undo everything you're trying to fix here. Most owners never realize the itch and the stomach were connected the whole time. Fix one, and the other calms down right alongside it. The coconut oil. It's probably sitting in your cabinet right now, and it's probably being used wrong. Coconut oil contains lauric acid, a compound that helps keep yeast overgrowth in check on the skin. And yeast is the quiet, overlooked reason behind constant paw licking and dirty, irritated ears that most owners never connect to skin health at all. 1/8 teaspoon, melted and mixed into food twice a week, is genuinely enough. Cats need far less than dogs here, and going overboard just upsets her stomach for no extra benefit. Some owners also dab a trace directly onto dry, flaky patches for localized relief. Watch how she reacts to it first before making it a regular habit. The skin barrier's covered from the inside now, quietly working in the background every single day. Time to rebuild what's actually underneath it. Cooked egg yolk. This is the part almost every cat owner throws straight in the trash, without a second thought. The yolk is dense in biotin, a B vitamin directly tied to healthy skin cell turnover and real coat strength. And a cat with a dull, thinning coat and a chronic itch is very often quietly running low on exactly this. A small spoonful, fully cooked and mashed into food, once or twice a week, is genuinely all it takes to start closing that gap. One rule that cannot be skipped: always cooked, never raw. Raw egg white contains a protein that actively blocks biotin absorption, meaning you'd be feeding her the fix and canceling it out in the very same bite. Cook it fully, and the problem disappears entirely, quietly working in the background while you go about your normal day. Sardines in water? This is the one that quietly does two jobs at the exact same time. Sardines packed in water, no added salt, deliver a strong dose of omega-3s alongside taurine, an amino acid her body cannot produce on its own. She depends on her diet for every bit of it. Strong taurine levels support a resilient immune system, and here's the twist most owners never hear. A cat with a strong immune system simply isn't an easy target for ticks. Not because anything about her repels them, because there's nothing weak left for them to latch onto and feed on. A quarter of a sardine, mashed into her regular meal once or twice a week, is the right portion. Sardines are calorie-dense, so more is never actually better here. Told you this one was different from the rest. Cat-specific probiotic. You could do everything on this list perfectly and still see slow results, if what's actually living inside her gut is out of balance to begin with. A real feline probiotic, the powder or paste made specifically for cat digestion and never human yogurt, repopulates her gut with the exact bacterial strains needed to keep inflammation calm instead of constantly triggered and overreacting. Follow the dosing printed on the label and mix it directly into her wet food once daily at the same time, so it becomes routine instead of something easy to forget. Digestion steadies first, usually within the first 2 weeks. Calmer skin follows not long after that, once the gut settles fully into its new rhythm. This is the piece that quietly speeds up everything else on this entire list, working underneath all 7 other additions at once. Diluted apple cider vinegar, last one, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now, completely unused for this exact purpose. Raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the cloudy kind with the strands still floating in it, has a mild acidity that can gently shift skin, pH just enough to make the surface a worse environment for yeast and a less appealing landing spot for ticks looking to settle in. Cats are not small dogs, so this one has to be handled carefully. No more than a few drops mixed into a full bowl of water, offered as an option beside her regular water, never forced or mixed directly into food. If she skips it entirely, that's fine. The next one works almost overnight in comparison. The lactose-reduced goat milk. Most owners were told cats and dairy don't mix. That's true for regular milk. Goat milk is a different story entirely. Raw or lactose-reduced goat milk carries natural probiotics and enzymes that support gut bacteria without the digestive upset regular cow's milk causes in most cats. A settled gut, again, is the foundation. Everything else on this list depends on a tablespoon, offered on its own or poured over food, 2 to 3 times a week is plenty. More isn't better, and too much can still cause loose stool even in the lactose-reduced kind. Cats that turn their nose up at every other addition on this list will often drink this one straight from a saucer, without hesitation. No coaxing required at all. Sometimes the easiest fix is the one she actually enjoys taking on her own, without you having to hide it in anything else. Soaked chia seeds, tiny, almost invisible in her bowl. And most owners have no idea what they're doing once they hit her stomach. Chia seeds are dense in omega-3s and soluble fiber, and once soaked, they turn into a gel that moves gently through her digestive tract, feeding gut bacteria along the way instead of sitting there undigested. Never dry. Dried chia seeds absorb moisture inside her, which can cause more harm than good. Always soak them in water for at least 10 minutes first. 1/8 of a teaspoon of the soaked gel, mixed into food 2 to 3 times a week, is enough for a cat her size. It's a small addition, but it quietly stacks on top of everything else already working in her gut, adding one more layer without overwhelming her. The next one isn't a food most owners even know exists. Nutritional yeast. Not the same thing as the yeast causing her skin problems. This one's the opposite. Nutritional yeast is deactivated, meaning it can't grow or cause infection, and it's dense in B vitamins that directly support nerve function, coat quality, and healthy skin cell turnover, the same processes that break down when her body is running low. Many owners also report that cats on regular nutritional yeast seem less appealing to fleas and ticks over time, though nobody knows the exact mechanism behind it. A pinch, sprinkled directly onto food 3 times a week, is the right dose. Most cats find the taste appealing on its own, which makes this one of the easiest additions on this entire list to sneak in. One rule: always nutritional yeast, never active brewer's yeast, which can upset her stomach in a completely different way and undo the benefit entirely. COD liver oil, different from the salmon oil already earlier on this list. This one's about what's missing entirely, not just what's inflamed and irritated right now. Cod liver oil delivers vitamin A and vitamin D alongside its omega-3s, and both vitamins are directly tied to skin cell repair and immune function. Deficiencies show up as slow-healing skin and a coat that never quite looks right no matter what you try. A few drops mixed into food, twice a week, covers the gap without overdoing the vitamin A, which becomes a real problem in large amounts and quietly builds up in her system over time. Never more than twice weekly. This is one ingredient on this entire list where more is genuinely worse, not better. So stick closely to the amount. Used correctly, it fills in exactly what salmon oil alone leaves behind, covering the one gap it couldn't. Spirulina, a blue-green algae, sounds strange in a cat's bowl, works harder than most things that don't. Spirulina is dense in antioxidants and essential fatty acids, and both work to calm oxidative stress inside her body, the kind of cellular damage that keeps low-grade inflammation running in the background and quietly feeding chronic itch cycles that never fully resolve. A tiny pinch, no more than 1/8 of a teaspoon, mixed into food 2 to 3 times a week is enough. Too much can actually overwhelm a small cat's system, so resist the urge to add extra. Owners who've added this alongside the gut-focused ingredients earlier on this list often describe it as the piece that finally made everything else click together, tying all the other work into one visible result. It's the antioxidant backup the rest of this list didn't have yet, and it quietly fills that gap. Blueberries. Small, sweet, and completely safe in the right amount. Most owners just never think to try it. Blueberries are loaded with antioxidants that help protect skin cells from the kind of damage that keeps irritation cycling instead of healing, working quietly alongside everything else already going into her bowl. 1 or 2 blueberries, mashed to avoid a choking risk once or twice a week, is plenty for a cat her size. No more is needed to see the benefit build up over time. Some cats bat them around like toys before ever eating one. That's completely normal, and it doesn't undo any of the benefit once she finally does get around to it. It's a small addition, but every antioxidant on this list is doing its part to slow the damage down from a slightly different angle each time. Cooled chamomile tea. This is the one most owners already have in their pantry and have never once considered for her. A small amount of plain, cooled, unsweetened chamomile tea has natural calming and anti-inflammatory properties, and a few drops mixed into her water can help soothe internal irritation the same way it's often used topically on irritated skin. Always fully cooled, always plain, no honey, no additives, and only offered occasionally, never as a daily habit, since even gentle herbs shouldn't become an everyday routine. Some owners also use a cooled, diluted version as a gentle rinse on irritated patches directly, adding relief from the outside as well as the inside at the same time. Small, gentle, but it rounds out everything else already working from every other direction on this list. 16 additions, every angle covered, gut, skin, immune system, finally working together instead of against each other. One bowl, a body that finally works with her instead of against her. 3 weeks. That's one full skin cycle. Watch the bald patch fill back in. Watch her stop mid-scratch and just walk away instead, like nothing was ever wrong. It was never a $60 tube. It was your kitchen the whole time. One last thing before you go. Do you want a full rotation plan for all 16? Which ones to combine and which days to skip? Comment plan, and I'll put one together for the next video. Or are you starting with just one tonight? Comment which one you're trying first. And if you already know she's going to fight you on it, tell me what the actual problem is. Picky eater, upset stomach, whatever it is, I'll help you solve it.